What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, I'm joined by my business partner, my best friend, Mr. Cole Da Silva, the Wolf. What's up, Cole?
Like, you should just start saying I'm actually joined by your guys' favorite guest, the Wolf, the guy that you actually want to hear on the podcast. It's
Okay, cool. So Cole's going to be exiting the podcast now. Thanks for coming. Okay. Guys, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about getting creative with your content.
Yes.
And yes, we are. So before we get into today's episode, I want to read out a review I got recently. It literally just says, Brian is worth his weight in gold. I've been online marketing for just over 2 years and growing as a trainer for 8 months. Definitely feel like I'm spinning my wheels this last little bit. And this podcast has helped me so much in the last 2 weeks. I cannot wait to take his course. Your time is well spent listening and taking all the gold nuggets he has for you, and take notes. I actually don't know who said this because they didn't leave their name, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Absolutely legendary. So I just want to remind you guys that we are giving away $1,000 cash. So if you want to be entered to win $1,000, all you got to do is screenshot any podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit so I know that you're tuning in. All right, Cole. So let's talk about getting creative with your content. I'm actually excited to talk to you about this because, for lack of a better term, you used to suck at content.
Fucking rights, man. I used to be trash. Like, for a very long time, creating content was like literally my kryptonite. I fucking hated it. I loved coaching. I loved like being one-on-one with people. I loved walking people through what they needed to do in order to achieve whatever goal that we were trying to work towards. But as far as like putting my ideas and like putting stuff on paper, hated it. And to this day, it still bothers me to a certain degree, but there was obviously things that we did to kind of steer in the right direction there.
Dude, but I actually feel that. I think that a lot of online trainers feel the exact same way. A lot of online coaches are very, very good at like coaching others and like drawing up nutrition plans and training plans, et cetera. But I think that there's a big mental block with a lot of, especially personal trainers that like exit the gym and want to go online because they've got a lot of knowledge. And once they have a client, they know how to work with the client. But most online trainers struggle with this whole content creation thing. But at the end of the day, like, guys, if you don't like, basically most personal trainers know how to work with clients, but if you don't attract clients, then you have nobody to work with. And I think that that's a big struggle for a lot of online coaches.
100%. I've seen way too many coaches, and I've experienced it myself, be absolutely amazing at what they do, but have no idea how to speak on lives, how to deliver their content, how to break down posts, how to deep dive into what it is to actually achieve your goals and kind of like get their message through to people. I feel like a big reason why people do that is because they're trying to be somebody else. I kind of want to transition into that right now because that was something that I struggle with immensely, that Brian was like literally had a fucking front seat to, was me not being myself and trying to create content. I'm pretty sure you see me do so many things that were just hilarious.
Yeah, when Cole used to try to get on live streams, so obviously you guys know Cole from the podcast. He swears a lot. He's like very abrasive. He's very like out there and aggressive. And when we used to get on live streams, Cole would try to pretend like he was somebody that he wasn't, and he would try to come across. And that's because like this was back when we were online training in 2015. Like that's what we thought was right at the time. Is we're like, okay, let's just be super positive and like friendly and welcoming, but like. In that we were actually like Cole wasn't being himself. And so I would watch him like get on a live stream and he'd like pull up his phone to like go talk on live, and then he'd just turn it off after a minute.
It was fucking rough. It was like for a long time actually, because this was part of the time, again, 2015, this was around the time where basically every trainer in our market, including our team, had that stigma. Okay, you got to carry yourself a certain way. You can't be like this. You can't do this. You can't do this. But I just never resonated with that attitude because, again, you guys have heard me on the podcast. You guys are in our program. You guys have heard how I speak. I just tell it how it is, okay? There's no sugarcoating with me. I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like not saying the word fuck because it's my favorite word, period. So when I try to go live, it was a fucking train wreck every single time that would happen. And I'm talking about guys like Brian just said, like once I'd go live and then I'd freak out and I'd stop it. That would happen like 6 times in a row. And I'd be like walking down the street, get like 2 minutes in, fuck up my sentence because I'm like trying to figure out a sentence to try to like break something down. I'm like, nope, cancel it, walk around again, start the live. And it was honestly ridiculous. Like videos, live streams would take me 3-4 hours to try to plan out because again, I was being somebody I wasn't. on camera. I was trying to act like something I wasn't. So I didn't really resonate with the words that I was trying to produce, the message I was trying to break down for people.
Yo, I love it. And like, guys, first thing I want to talk about before we have 3 like insights to give you guys to help you guys get more creative with your content. But before we even get into that, I want to have a conversation about this idea that 1 is better than 0. Because a lot of online coaches, the reason that they don't post on social media or the reason that they're not consistent with their content is they're very critical of their own content. And they'll judge their own content before they put it out. Who here has actually done that? Where like you'll write a piece of content and you're like, oh yeah, that's not good enough. And maybe you don't even post it because you write it and you're like, that sucks. Or some of us don't even get there. We'll like take a picture and we'll start writing our caption and then we'll delete the caption because we don't think it's good enough. And so there's a lot of online coaches that struggle with creativity with their content, but the reason they struggle with creativity with their content is because they're very critical of everything that they're putting out. And so they block the creativity from coming in because they don't post content. And because they're not posting content, they're like, any good idea that they might have about a piece of content, they'll just shut down because they're not willing to post because they're trying to make it perfect. Does that make sense?
100%. And like you asked the question, like how many of you guys have deleted a post or like deleted a picture before you actually posted it? And I want to let everybody know who's listening, we've done that multiple times. The reason why we're talking about this right now is because we were in your actual shoes. It took a long time for us to get to a point where now we can just produce content like crazy. And I'm not even saying that we don't think about it. There's days where I doubt myself, but at the same time, I just know that putting something out is better than putting nothing out. And yeah, it might not be your 100% like perfect post. It might not look the best for a photo, even though I'm super anal about photos, which we talked about in the past. It might not be the best for the caption. It might not have the message you want to deliver. But as long as you're producing some sort of value, as long as you're putting out content, you're getting yourself in front of people, that's the win here. All right. Being perfect isn't going to get you anywhere in this game.
Guys, if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. Before you can be creative, you have to be consistent. Before you can be creative, you have to be consistent. Right now, you guys, I've been building a TikTok in secret, but I guess I'll tell you about it now because it's starting to come to life. So I've got a TikTok, BMark Inspires. And on this TikTok, follow me at BMark Inspires. For the first, follow me at BMark Inspires. For the first few videos, it was just me, I didn't really know what the hell I was posting, to be completely honest. I was just kind of posting content. I was just kind of like, okay, well, I want to post an inspirational message. So I'd talk to the camera and I'm like, if you want to be more motivated, here are 3 tips. And I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of these thoughts that went through my head initially where I was like, people are going to think this is stupid. I sound like a fucking idiot. All of these initial thoughts that came through because a lot of the stuff that I'm posting on BMark Inspires is new for me. It's I want to get more into the success motivation stuff, not just business coaching, but I actually just want to be a success motivator. So a lot of online trainers that I felt the feelings that you guys are feeling when it comes to creating content, putting something out there and being oh, somebody's going to think this is stupid. Or somebody's going to make fun of me, or somebody's going to call me out, or somebody's going to do this. But I was just consistent. I just literally made the decision. And if you're an online coach, you're struggling with content, you need to make the decision that you're going to be consistent. I'm going to fucking post 3 to 5 times a week, no matter what. No matter what, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't care if it's a one-liner. I don't care if it's 5 paragraphs. I need to be consistent. Because once you get consistent, then creativity comes. And I think you notice that with your TikTok too, bro. The one that you're building, your gaming TikTok. It's not like you had
funny, bro.
fire ideas at first, but you got consistent, and then you started posting those short videos started blowing up.
100%. It was honestly hilarious. So anybody who does follow my gaming TikTok, I have always had an interest in gaming. I love doing it. All right, it helped me connect with my brothers who are actually back in Ontario too. So it was nice because I got to actually spend time with them more, talk to them, because we had a little bit of a disconnected relationship after I moved out of the house and I was young based on our childhoods. So it was nice. We got to game a little bit more, and because I started gaming more, I was like, yo, if I'm going to do this, I might as well try to do something with the gaming as well, because that's an entrepreneurial mind always kind of popping in the back of my head. So I started a Twitch account, started a TikTok, and honestly, the TikTok was just bullshit at first. I was just throwing random things up there, having fun. And then now, the videos are exploding. All right. I don't even really care about the following. I'm just posting what I want to post, and it's honestly insane. I make funny videos all the time about me being short and Julia being tall, random videos about me and my brothers fighting on games. And it just kind of came to light because I was consistent. All right. And that's what the message we want to get through to you guys right now. You're not always going to know what you want to do right off the bat. It's the same thing when you're growing up. You don't know what you want to do when you're older until you start trying different things. You find that thing that ignites the passion. Then you're like, okay, I like that. And you start leaning in a little bit more. And now, yeah, like I love posting on TikTok. Every single day I'm creating like at least 5 to 10 pieces, new pieces of content because it's just coming to me because I enjoy posting about that subject.
Yeah. And dude, I want to briefly touch on that. Cole didn't actually know that his short videos were going to blow up. He just started posting. And then once one of the short videos blew up, he's like, ooh, this is good. Made a series out of it. So a lot of you guys, the reason that you're not consistent is because you're trying to think of the good idea first, right? You're like, oh, I'm not going to post until I have good ideas. But that's not how it works. Like creativity doesn't come. It's not how it works.
Right? You don't fucking know what the good idea is. This is a big thing I tell a lot of people, all right? And I'm going to say this even though this isn't one of the points we're going to give you guys, but it might be a bonus point. You got to listen to your fucking audience. So how can you tell what a good idea is if you're not posting at all because you're scared of posting a bad idea, but your audience might like that idea? You guys understand what I'm saying right now? You got to put out content, feel out your audience, see if they like it. If they don't, stop posting that type of content. If they do, go into that type of content. That's the whole point here.
You just made me think of something. Lean into your audience 100%. So those of you guys that are posting content right now, something else that I really want to touch on is like, if go on your social media posts right now, who here has gone back and actually analyzed their social media posts? Because for me, like whenever the reason I created the theory around PT Dom and the content strategy that we have is because I analyzed my best performing content and then I taught that because like I've been an online trainer for 4 years. So I analyzed what content worked really well and then I taught that. So for you guys, and everybody's going to have a content strategy that like, or a content type that they're really good at. So go into your content and see your best performing content and then replicate that, but tell the story in a different way. Or
say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Go into your best performing content and replicate that, but tell the story in a different way. It's funny because a lot of online coaches will come into our coaching program and they'll write a connection post and they're like, oh, my connection post blew up. And then they don't write one for like 3 weeks. And I'm like,
they'll never talk about it ever again because apparently that story is told for the rest of their fucking lives.
Right. Or like another thing, guys, and this is another thing that I want to talk about. If you create a piece of content and it sucks and gets zero engagement, don't do it again. like as an example, like there's some of you guys that are posting the quote cards. So I have quote cards on my Instagram. Some of you guys will take those quotes cards and they'll post them on Facebook. Those don't do very well on Facebook. So if you notice, every time you post a quote card on Facebook, it gets 3 likes and you keep posting the quote card. It's like, that could be a piece of content that gets 100 likes if you post the right type of content. So it's like really leaning into your audience and figuring out like what content you're putting out that's actually working and then finding a way to duplicate that and tell the story in a different way. Like how many times have you guys heard me tell the story about me being a drug addict? Dozens.
So many.
Dozens and dozens.
Same thing with myself too.
Right? It's like you got to tell the story in a different angle.
And it's the same thing with myself too. I've probably told like multiple different angles of the story of me being addicted to Percocets while I was an iron worker, because let's be real. As much as I've explained it, there's a lot of things I still haven't shared. So I can always share from a different angle. And listen, my audience is always growing. It's what a lot of you guys don't understand. Just because you told your connection post at 1,000 followers, well, now if you're at 1,500, that's 500 new people that might have not seen that. All right. 2,000, that's another 1,000 people that might have not seen that. You got to continue to fucking post the content that's working well. And that's why, again, I'm happy you brought up the analytics, because I've told so many people that just go look at the posts that do well and stop posting the shit that does bad. Okay. There's a very fine line in making sure that your guys' content does well. And you need to make sure that, number one, you're posting content that your audience wants to see and that you're passionate about. You're not just posting content that you want to post. Because unless you're just running a personal page, guys, okay, which most people who are listening to this probably aren't. You're running a business page, all right? You're not posting for yourself, okay? Like straight up.
You're posting.
We're not posting for ourselves.
The reason
we're posting to build a fucking business
as an online coach is to attract clients.
Exactly.
That's it. And so if you're posting content right now and it's not attracting clients, then you need to do something. You need to change your strategy. It's actually funny that you brought that up. There was one of my clients. He's awesome. Love the dude. He joined the program. He made $5K in his first month. He changed up his content theme on his Instagram like 3 weeks ago. And it looks really clean, but he hasn't sold any clients. So he like sent me a message. He's like, bro, like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. Like, you know, I've been posting consistently and I got this new theme and like, I'm really excited about it, but I haven't signed any clients. And I like looked at the theme and I'm like, it looks really pretty. He's probably going to read that. He's probably going to listen to this. I literally said, I'm like, bro, your content theme looks really good, but you haven't signed any fucking clients. So change the theme. Like if you're not,
which means they don't resonate with you.
You need to change something up, right? Like, and it might, and that's the thing too. It's not like you need to like do a complete overhaul and stop everything you're doing. If you're already being consistent, then you can be creative. So now you can start to play with some different things. So why don't we get into the 3 points that we did write down? So I'm going to let you do number 1, because you had a point that you wanted to add on to it too.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody hears this properly. Okay, guys. So the first point, to help each and every one of you guys with content creation, to help you guys build stuff that not only attracts more people, but help you build stuff that you're passionate about, is to watch other creators. Okay, that's a huge thing. It's literally been the telltale to help people since content became a fucking thing, period.
Write this
down.
Go
on TikTok. You guys go on TikTok, look at the biggest creators ever, then go to the sound of their videos and watch the millions of videos that were just created and copied off of them. All right? That's literally what they do. They watch and they recreate. They watch and they recreate because the fucking kings are doing something right. Why are you trying to recreate the wheel? But there's an asterisk around this. There's a very big difference between taking inspiration and just straight up plagiarizing, which people need to make sure that they're understanding. You need to make sure that you're walking that fucking line properly, because
word for
if
word
you're going to
plagiarize, word for word equals plagiarize.
Exactly. But so if you're going to somebody's post and you're like, that is a really good fucking point, I really like that, I want to share that with my audience, there's a couple ways to do it. All right, there's an app called Repost where you could literally just repost their post on your fucking page. I don't recommend it, but again, you're getting the point across. Or you look at the fucking post and you recreate it in your own words with your own fucking message, period. All right, that's the difference right there. You can't just take their post and post it on your social media because that's plagiarism. But there's only so many ways to recreate the wheel. And a lot of you guys are missing out because you think there's only one way to talk about how a fucking carbohydrate affects your body. You think there's only one way to talk about how a morning routine is going to improve your life. So you see somebody talk about that and you're like, well, fuck, I don't know how to write about it. Why don't you go to mine and Brian's pages, go back to our fitness content, see how we talked about nutrition, training, morning routines, and everything else, and just recreate that post in your own words with your own message.
Guys, and I'm gonna go like a layer deeper, as Melanie likes to make fun of me for. I'm gonna go a layer deeper, but damn it, I got sidetracked. Go to like, if you're an online coach, why wouldn't you read other online coaches' content? Right? If you're in the academy, you got 550 other students that are in the academy.
That means 500 fucking pieces of content a day if everybody's posting a day.
Right. And like, I know everybody doesn't post every day, but you guys know that there's some people that are in the academy that are making 10, 20, 30, $40,000 a month. You think it would be a smart idea to look at what type of content that they're posting? Probably, right? I think if you're an online fitness coach and you're like, and I also think it's important to pay attention to people that you resonate with. Because some of you guys might, if you're a fitness competitor, you've been competing for 7 or 8 shows, then you might resonate with Don Lamb. So going to Don Lamb's page and seeing what type of content he's posting makes sense. But if you are maybe a mom, you've got 3 kids and you want to grow a business, or 2 kids, then you might resonate with somebody like Christine Cardenas. So you might want to read the type of content that she posts, or Brady, because Brady's close to 10K. She's hit 10K and you want to see what type of content she posts. So it's really figuring out which coaches you resonate with and reading their content and just getting ideas, getting insight, getting inspiration. But again, inspiration, not plagiarize. Another thing I want to touch on, you guys, is my BMark Inspires TikTok right now. Literally the way that I get a lot of my ideas for the videos that I'm creating, which are growing my page. By the way, I'm at 13,000 followers in 14 days. Hallelujah. I think it's been 17 days or 20 days or something like that. But yeah, 13,000 followers. The way that I get inspiration for that page is I'll go to other success motivation pages and I'll watch their videos, right? And I watch their videos and I'll watch 20, 30, 40 videos. And I'll find an idea that I'm something will click. I'm oh, that's a good idea. And then I'll go to my page and I'll create the vision inside of my mind. So for you guys that are trying to grow on TikTok, why don't you go to other big TikTok pages that are crushing, look at their videos, see what type of content that they're posting, watch 20, 30, 40 videos, get an idea, film it, right?
Recreate. Guys, all of you are on social media each and every day as an online fitness coach, period. All right. And I am willing to bet that if you looked at your screen time and it said, let's say 4 hours on Instagram, just throwing out some times right now, 1 to 3 hours of that is you aimlessly fucking scrolling. And I'm like willing to bet money on that. All right. The difference between people who don't know how to produce content properly and the difference between people who are producing content properly is those 2 screen times. This person is doing nothing. Okay. The person on the left is just aimlessly scrolling, and the person on the right is scrolling with intention to figure out new content for their page. All right. That'll literally be a huge game changer for you guys.
Love it. All right. So point number 2 we're going to get into is talk about shit you're passionate about. This is super important. If you're an online fitness coach and right now you're creating content that you don't care about, that's why you're struggling. So for me in my coaching business, like I always tried to integrate things that I was extremely passionate about, like things that like I valued, things that like were important to me. So when I was in fitness coaching, like I believed in flexible dieting and I loved flexible dieting. So I loved talking about it because I thought it was making a difference in people's lives. I was also like a mindset coach and I like to like work on like mindset stuff. So like that to me was like stuff that I was really passionate about, things that got me excited. And like, for those of you guys that are, a lot of you guys struggle with writing content for your avatar because you're like, a lot of you guys might have an avatar that you're not actually passionate about. That could be a problem, right? So making sure that you're writing content that you're passionate and talking about shit you're passionate about is super important. Creativity with your content is really important with this one as well, you guys, because I think that a lot of you think that you can't talk about shit that you're passionate about on social media because you can't attract your avatar with maybe something you're passionate about isn't actually, you know, doesn't align with your avatar. But this is where it's like, I'm going to let Cole touch on this as well. One of my clients, Matt Tennyson, he's in the mastermind right now. He's a guitar player. And I told him, I'm like, you should play guitar on Facebook Live. He's like, really? Why? Yeah. I'm like, because you're passionate about it and you're really good at it. So like people are going to see you crushing it and talking about something you're passionate about, and they're going to like be attracted to that. So talking about shit that you're passionate about and making sure that you're talking, like you're communicating a message that you like resonate with is extremely important for creativity with your content.
100%, guys. So a big thing that helped me in my business when I was full-time online fitness coaching was how passionate I was about being myself. Okay. Speaking my mind, not holding anything back, using the no excuses, no bullshit wolf mentality that I've developed in everything that I've done. And at first it was a little bit weird. Okay. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people were like, yo, if you're that harsh, you're probably not going to get clients. But because I was so fucking passionate about the no excuses mindset, going into like the mindset of not excusing yourself and setting justifications for where you were in life, people just started to get attracted to that. All right. Because I was 100% myself and I was so passionate about talking about mindset and nutrition and everything in my own way, everybody was attracted to it. Right. And I had a lot of people where I would post some pretty controversial shit, which we've seen cause some crazy problems in the past. But every time it would cause an uproar or a problem or something would happen online, I'd get like 5 to 10 clients. Because I'm 100% being my authentic self. And that's why it's so important to fucking figure out something that you're passionate about, because way too many coaches are out there just writing content because they think it's going to make them money. They don't actually resonate with the words that they're putting down on paper. They don't actually resonate with what they're saying on Facebook Lives. And guess what? Take it from a person who used to try to act like somebody he wasn't to be better online. It never works because people see right through it. People see through it instantly.
Love it. Love it. And point number 3, and I think this is super important, especially right now because TikTok is exploding. And if you didn't hear me before, I gained 13,000 followers in 20 days. You need to take risks and try new things.
Literally, guys, one video. He posted one video. He was crushing it, by the way, staying consistent. And one video blew up. Bang. Literally overnight, me and him both looked at his TikTok, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Bro, I went from 700 followers to 10,000 in 24 hours. Like if you're not on overnight. TikTok right now, you're screwing up. It's like, there's so much opportunity. There's so much opportunity. And like, I think a big reason that online trainers don't get on TikTok is because they're stuck in the old ways, right? They're like, oh, Instagram, no Instagram. And I learned Facebook. And like, how do I create all these new videos? And they're short. And like, that's what I was doing. I was like really afraid to get on TikTok. Then I watched Kirsten blow up to 225,000 followers and Brendan blow up to 350. And I was like, okay, like I need to get on it. But you need to take risks and you need to try new things, not only with like different apps, but also with content types. Like those of you, this is especially true for you guys if you struggle with consistency with content, because a big reason you're not being consistent is because you're judging yourself, right? So take a risk and post the fucking content.
No joke. I want to tell a little bit of a funny story here. So my older brother, he's a rigger. Okay, works on the oil rigs. And don't get me wrong, he doesn't really have any career in posting content right now. He might do it in the future. It doesn't matter. But he was super like off about posting content. Okay, off about posting content. Didn't really want to do it, reputation stuff when it comes to the rigging, etc. Long story short, I keep getting him to try to post on TikTok. And I was like, dude, just post something. Who cares? And we posted a video up of us like being idiots loading a motorcycle wrong. And literally, guys, overnight, he went from 0 to over 700 followers just from one video blowing up to like a couple thousand views instantly. And as soon as he did that, now he's just like broken down his barrier and he's posting videos like every fucking day about random things because now he's kind of unlocked his mind. You got to get over the fear of it because at the end of the day, what happens? You don't get any likes? Who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And this is something that I want to make sure that I get through to everybody's head because is one of the main reasons why I see a lot of people, again, hesitating is because they're scared of the likes and not seeing the, I guess, growth like they would like to see. And they're stuck in their old ways, like Brian was saying on Instagram and Facebook. But I'm going to tell you right now, that if you're not trying new things like TikTok, like LinkedIn, like other platforms, you're never going to grow fast because everything has changed to favor not you. So if you're stuck on Instagram thinking you're going to blow up and you're going to get an insane amount of traction, you might if you're like a fucking stud like Charlie Meister, but guess what? We're not all studs like him. But produce things, try new things, fucking experiment. If you don't have content, go on your fucking Instagram with the 700 posts you have and make a TikTok about it. Okay, do a Facebook Live about it. Do an Instagram Live about it. Get the fuck out there. The more you just like free yourself, the better things are going to be and you're going to feel absolutely amazing.
Boom. Guys, I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up there. Guys, the 3 tips that me and Cole believe are necessary for, actually, before we even give the tips, it's like, you got to be consistent in order to be creative.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, if you're not consistent, solve that first, and then we'll work on getting creative. Like, just fucking post. If you're listening to this podcast right now, make a goddamn post right after this, all right? Just go make a post. It's so easy. It's so simple. Just go make a post. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2. Actually, no, that's like number 0. Number 1.
I'm pretty sure there was like 3 other bonus points in there too.
We'll summarize the rest. So make a post, guys. Get consistent. Number 1 is to watch other creators. You want to take inspiration, but not plagiarize. What that means is like, go watch other creators, get inspired, and then write your own version of that. Number 2, talk about things you're passionate about. You don't want to go on live and like pretend to be somebody that you're not, or pretend to, just, front with an opinion that you don't believe. Talk about something you're passionate about. Sometimes that might stir the pot. That's okay. Number 3 is to take risks and try new things. This is especially true for those of you guys that haven't experimented with any of the new apps, or maybe you haven't gotten on your stories yet, or maybe you haven't gotten on Facebook Live yet. Take risks and try new things. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value from today's episode, what I want you to do is screenshot this episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit so I know that you're tuning in, and I can give you a chance to win $1,000. And Cole, where do they find you?
Guys, you can check me out on Instagram at Cole Lewis De Silva, TikTok at Cole Lewis De Silva, and the podcast app on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the Wake Up with the Wolf podcast.
Cool. That's it. That's all. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.